Get up! Get up, Sir Duncan!
Get up.
All right, talking about a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. And listen, this show is not trying to be the loudest, the bloodiest, or the flashiest. But what it does have is something way more dangerous. It has savage moments, and I don't just mean sword fights. I mean humiliation, ego destruction, cold dialogue, and that classic Westeros vibe where people remind you, yeah.
Silence! Silence!
I withdraw my accusation.
You're not safe just because you're nice. So today we're counting down the top 10 savage moments from the series so far. And trust me, number 1 is the kind of moment that makes you pause the screen like, he really just did that? All right, let's get into it. Let's start with something simple but powerful. Dunk is not some legendary knight. He's not royalty. He's not even respected. He's basically a tall dude with a sword and a dream. But the first time we see him step into a space full of nobles and he doesn't shrink, that's savage. Because in Westeros, the moment you act scared, you're finished. And Dunk's energy is basically, I might die, but I'm not gonna beg. That right there is the start of his legend. Now Egg. Egg looks like a kid you'd send to go fetch water. But the way this little dude talks, oh my God. Egg doesn't just speak. He speaks like somebody who already knows he's important. He's got that future king energy without even trying. And what makes it so savage is that he doesn't care who he's talking to. Knights, lords, nobles. Egg will roast anybody. And Dunk is always standing there like, please stop talking. But Egg can't stop. That's just who he is. This show is savage in a different way because it constantly reminds you that the real villains aren't monsters. They're just rich people, kind of like real life. Nobles in this world don't even see common people as humans. Sound familiar? They talk down to them. They laugh at them. They humiliate them in public. And the worst part? They do it casually, like it's normal. That's the kind of cruelty that hits harder than any sword. This is one of the most brutal moments emotionally because Dunk gets absolutely worked. Like this man is getting hit so hard you're watching like, please just stop. But Dunk doesn't stop. He gets up again and again and again. And it's savage because you realize this dude isn't strong because he wins fights. He's strong because he refuses to break. That's the difference. This show has some of the best emotional damage moments in all of Westeros. Because people don't just insult Dunk. They insult him in front of crowds. They make him feel small. They try to take away his dignity. And Dunk's reaction is always the same. He stays quiet, but his eyes say, I'm gonna remember that. And in Westeros, if somebody says that with their eyes, it's already over. Now we need to talk about the buildup to the Trial of Seven, because everybody around Dunk is basically acting like, yeah, you're dead. And Dunk knows it too, but the savage part is he still walks into it. No crying, no begging, no running, just that quiet confidence like, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die fighting. That is the kind of courage that makes legends. Let's be real. Some of the most savage moments in this show aren't even fights, they're lines. Westeros dialogue is like a knife.
Why did you throw your life away for this hole? You've loosened one of my teeth. So we'll start by breaking out all of yours.
People don't stab you in the chest. They stab you in the ego. And in this show, there are multiple moments where someone says one sentence, and it changes the entire room. That's the kind of writing I love, because it's quiet, because it's deadly. Okay, now we're getting into the big stuff. The Trial of Seven is savage because it's not a duel. It's not fair. It's not honorable. It's basically a legal excuse for a massacre. Once it starts, It turns into pure chaos. People are getting dropped, nobody's holding back, and Dunk is fighting for his life. This is one of those moments where the show reminds you this is still Westeros, and Westeros does not care about your feelings. Dunk vs. Arryn. This fight is savage because it's personal. Arryn represents everything Dunk hates: arrogance, cruelty, privilege. And Arryn really thought he could treat Dunk like a joke. But the moment Dunk starts landing hits, you can feel the shift, because suddenly Arryn realizes, oh, this isn't a peasant. This is a man. And Dunk doesn't fight pretty. He fights like someone who's been disrespected his entire life. That's why it hits so hard. All right, number 1. This is the moment that made me pause. Because at the end, when the twist hits, it's not loud, it's not flashy, it's just cold. And it reminds you of the most savage truth in Westeros. The world doesn't reward good people, it rewards power. And when you see how Dunk and Egg's journey truly begins, you realize this is not going to be a cute little adventure. This is going to be a story about survival. And the ending makes you feel it in your bones. Quick reminder, if you're enjoying the video, hit that like button and subscribe to Stickman Targaryen. We're posting Westeros content all season. That's going to do it for today. Those are my top 10 savage moments from A Night of the Seven Kingdoms so far. Now, I need you to tell me, what was the most savage moment for you? Drop it in the comments. And if you want a part 2, or if you want me to do a full breakdown on Dunk and Egg's friendship, let me know. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.